All right, guys. It's Steve, and I got Arash Dibazar with me on the other line. Why don't you say hi, Arash?
Hello, everybody. This is Arash Dibazar from San Jose, California, Seductive Instinct. Let's make it happen, everybody. I'm excited. Bring me your toughest questions that you would only ask the gods, because I got them by the throat. Let's do it.
There you go. So, Arash, why don't you give a little intro of yourself for guys that may not have heard you?
Okay. I am Arash Dibazar, the student of the late, great Manu Tupou, one of the greatest acting teachers of his time and our time now, and a personal student of Mystery and Matador. I'm 2012 and 2013 Pickup Artist Coach and Pickup Artist of the Year. I'm a business owner of 3 businesses expanding into 4. I'm also in a relationship with a girl who you would consider a 10, but I don't think there's any 10s. And I have a relationship with 9 other women right now and expanding into 10. I'm a black belt under Sandro Patata, who's a current world Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu champion. I'm his first black belt that he ever awarded in 17 years. And overall, I'm a pretty good son to my dad and mom. That's about it. That's all I can say. Writing a book.
I saw a video of you where people saying something, you're doing too much. And what do you have to say about that?
Well, it's a common thing that people hear when you're doing something in life. The people around you will say you're doing too much. So I may have just been addressing it. Nobody really tells me that anymore because now I'm just lightning speed compared to them. So their voices, I can't even hear it when they talk. But I do teach people about that, because if you're doing something in life and if you are excited about your life and energetic and passionate, then you're going to get people that are going to come around and tell you you're doing too much. And my answer to that is, okay, thank you very much. Now I'm going to go do more, okay? I mean, what else am I supposed to say about it?
That's a nice attitude. All right, guys. So you may or may not know the drill, but if you've got a question for Arash, go ahead and push *2. We will take your questions. We will unmute you, and you can ask your question. Don't be shy. Go ahead and push *2.
Be shy. Be very shy, because that's very powerful in life, and you'll get very far in business and relationship. Everywhere you go, the shy person is always winning. So go for it.
There you go. All right.
Bring it.
All right, so we got level 3 communication. The last 4 is 8172. Go ahead and ask a question then.
Okay, I read what you about your profile, and you said that you have 4 businesses and multiple relationships going on. I wanted to ask you this: how do you like plan your day? Like, how do you find time to do like things that you want and not get overwhelmed by them?
Okay, that's a great question. I have a girlfriend, who's my girlfriend of 8.5 years. She's Electra, you see her. And I have a lot of women in my life that I'm in some sort of relationship with. My girlfriend knows if you come to my Saturday night lectures live, it's a known thing that I can hook up with whoever I want because that's who I am. Your question is, how do I have time to do the things I want to do, not get overwhelmed? You see, my life and my work are 100% connected. Like, the purpose of my life is my work and my job. I don't do anything else. If you ever enter into my mind, you'll see that 24 hours a day, even when I sleep, my dreams are related to this. I work all the time. And so even if the women are in my life, if you look into my Facebook, you'll see, if it's a woman that's going to be in my life, in a relationship with me, then I make sure that she can somehow relate to me in regards to my job. It's been misunderstood before because people, it's like a hater comment that sometimes comes up. It's like, those aren't your girls, they work for you. No, I'm sorry, you're confused when you say that, okay? Those are actually my girls because I go out and I get them, I acquire them using the pickup arts, and then I make them into employees of mine. They're not employees first, my girls second. That's a backwards sequence. The proper sequence is they're first my girls, then they're my employees. Because if they don't become my employees, I can't hang out with them. I won't be around them. You see, I cannot deal with a woman who has other things to do besides what I do. So it all works out because if I'm relating to somebody, let me give you an example. I'm talking to Steve right now, and I'm talking to you from North Carolina. And the only reason we're interacting is because we're talking about my work. Otherwise, you could be the greatest person ever that lives in North Carolina, and I would have no reason to talk to you. However, if you have something to do with what my life's purpose is, my work, then I don't care if you're a street sweeper. I still want to talk to you. 24 hours a day, this is what I do. I also have some beautiful dogs that I train on a special art form called Canine Familiar, and that's, again, related to my work and my job. So I don't have a separated view of life. I have an integrated view of life, meaning I don't need to find balance for my family, for my work, for my own time. All of them are the same. I interact with people all the time in relation to my work. And this is part of the reason why I'm number one in everything I do. At some point growing up, I thought it was a bad thing to have that, only because of all the mediocre individuals around me who insisted on me not doing that. But once I saw the reality and the truth of the situation, I realized that I was right in doing what I did. They need balance. I don't need balance. I need absolute extreme in order to live in accordance to my own principles and ethics in life. So in no way do I ever think I'm overwhelmed. In fact, I overwhelm everybody around me all the time. So I love it because I won't interact with anybody unless it has to do with my business. And be like, well, it's not just about money. Yes, it is. It's 100% about money, and it's 100% about my work, and it's 100% about, you see, money represents the service I give. If someone gives me $1, it's not because I put a gun to their head. It's not because I begged them for their money. It's because I had something they wanted, and in their mind, if they gave me $1, what I gave them was worth more. Otherwise, they would have kept their $1. So to me, I measure the success of myself and the people that work for me in regards to the dollar bill, because I understand it's a symbol of exchange. And because the exchange is knowledge and making people better, I'm very proud of every cent that comes into my pocket and all the people around me that are becoming rich. So I'm dedicated. I will be dedicated for the rest of my life to my work. And there's nothing more pleasurable, not even having sex with the most beautiful woman in the world, is more pleasurable than helping somebody and getting paid for it. Not just helping somebody, but helping somebody and getting paid for it. Because when you get paid, you have a lot more vagina hitting you in the face later anyways. So that's the secret.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. That's minimally what we could say every time I talk. Let's keep going. Jaws dropping to the floor. Yep. I thought he was just an aggressive bald guy. I didn't know he was intelligent. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but add-on question to that at all?
No, I'll let the next one. That was my only question right now. Thank you. I appreciate it, guys.
Thank you for asking that question.
No,
you made it exciting for us. Everybody else was just sitting there with their finger in their butt and asked the question. Thank you.
We got another hand raised. Put you on mute again.
Yeah.
All right, this guy's anonymous. I don't know who you are, but I don't know how you called in or if you're on Skype, but whoever just raised their hand about 3 seconds ago, go ahead and ask your question.
Great.
Phil?
Go ahead.
Steve, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes, I can hear you, brother. What is
Steve, hi. Arash, hi. Thank you guys for having us. 2 questions for
Hold
Arash.
on. Before you say, hold on. Before you say anything, are you Persian?
I'm Lebanese.
You're Middle Eastern?
Yes.
Okay, I could tell just the way
How'd you
started
know?
that sentence. Okay. It's called sacred syntax.
Oh, okay.
My new art. I can tell by the way you put the
Okay,
words
well,
together.
that's cool. They're very smart, very sharp.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay,
go ahead, man.
So I have a couple of questions for Arash. The first question is, you mentioned that you are in a long-term relationship with a very attractive woman and that you have another 9 going on, correct?
9 other women, not another 9 as a rating, but 9 other women in my life. That
Okay, yeah, so you basically have a little harem going on.
Are you asking me that, or are you commenting?
No, my question is, how did you establish that, and how would you advise somebody who has that, that goal to go about it? That's one question. The other question is, a lot of times.
Can I answer your first question? Let me answer your first question.
I'm sorry?
And then we'll go to the question.
Okay.
He's going to answer. He's going to answer your first question. Then I'll get answer the other one.
Okay. However, wait once.
The way you establish something, first of all, I don't consider that I have a harem. I think that's a misnomer, and I think it's incorrect to call it that. The dynamics are much more complicated than any living human being can understand, but that's what it is, and it is what it is. Oh, there's that sentence. So what needs to be done if you ever want to go the route that I went, the very first thing is an inner game concept. You have to ask yourself, do you truly believe it's right to have this? Do you truly believe that to have more than one woman in your life is absolutely the right thing to do? With 100% certainty. Not 99, not 98%. Only if you know 100% for sure that it is the right thing to do. Not just for you, but for the women involved, for the men in their lives, for their families, for my family, for the world. Only if you know that will you then have access to the level of knowledge and power that's available. Until then, the door's closed. It's Solomon's temple, okay? It's closed. And you got to be able to open the door to walk in. And the very first requirement is you have to know 100% that it is the right thing, not only for you, but for everybody involved. That is not an easy door to open. But if you open that door, and when you get there, find Arash Dibazar, and you and I will talk about the next step, because that is a very difficult step to go through, but you need that before you walk into this level of information and power. Now, your second question.
Okay. Well, that's a worthy goal. So, I will keep that in mind. My second question is, in pickup, we see a lot of times being discussed like something like opening, approaching, escalating, this and that, but we never get a lot of discussion about the final step of seduction, which is, fucking a woman so good that she keeps coming back for more. What's your take on that? What do you advise? What are your stories, your examples?
Yes. My advice is, if you're looking for the woman's G-spot inside or outside her vagina, then you don't understand, or what I understand, which is her G-spot is in her mind. You have to have access to her mind. And when you have access to her mind, her G-spot could be her fucking elbow, as far as I'm concerned. Sex is not just the body. The body is the final step of sex, which is, for example, you're about to buy a product. Let's say you're about to go to a boot camp. The actual moment where you exchange the money with the other person, that moment is the final step of your exchange. But to get there, you must have fantasized, visualized, saw yourself in the future with the product, weighed out the benefits and the cons and the pros and cons. And all of those things happen in your mind until to that moment you exchange the dollar. When you exchange the dollar, you either got what you expected and more, and if you did, you're going to come back and buy more, okay? Or you got less, and if you got less, you're going to have no more. I'm never going to buy from that person again. And that's exactly how sex is done at the seductive instinct level, which is my company. And the way it's done is this. The actual sex is the final exchange that the woman has with you. That's it. That's the money. She gives her value finally. After that, if everything she thought about you still stands and you blow her mind, not sexually, but you blow her mind by blowing her life. Her life has to be blown because you're in it, like a fucking, excuse my language, like a thunderstorm just entered and just tsunamied her life. If you do that, she'll want to have sex with you again, and she'll orgasm even more easily and more comfortably. If you don't, she'll have remorse and she'll never want to have sex with you again. Now, one more thing when it comes to sex is that's missed by a lot of people is how important it is that she feels sexy and comfortable around you. Even the most beautiful women that I've been with, and I've been with some very beautiful women, all of them are insecure when they have to take off their clothes and do anything with you. So it's very important that she feels comfortable, which is again in her mind. It's not her body. And sexy, which is again in her mind. But I'm giving you that as an extra bonus because a lot of times you're going to have a weird resistance at the last moment because she's insecure about her belly or insecure about one boob or insecure about her skin or some weird thing like that. And once you know that, you take care of all of that so that the woman feels so sexy that the only thing she can do is take off her clothes and finally exchange with you the only thing she has that she can exchange with you, which is her replication. I never consider a woman's intelligence, her emotions, or anything like that as something I want or need. I do consider her body and sex the thing that I want from her. Simple. And I want her loyalty. Those are the two things I go for. So on a mental level, I want her loyalty, 100% loyalty to me. On a physical level, I want her sex. If she can't give me those two things, she's not worth 1 ounce of my energy.
That answer your question?
End of statement.
Absolutely. Wonderfully put. Thank you, Arash.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for asking that question.
You got anything else real quick?
No, that was it for my questions tonight.
Okay, great. I'm going to go ahead and mute you. All right, Ross, let me ask you this. Your women, are they allowed to date other men, or do you have that open? Like some guys allow that, but some guys, I don't know if it's jealousy. Some guys just don't want them even. Go ahead.
Here's how I'll talk about the other women in my life. The other women in my life will give me 100% compliance if I ask for it. If I ask for it, I will get it. If I don't, I won't. However, there's more to it. If they have a boyfriend or a husband, and that's happened in the past, then I expect them 100% to do everything they can to keep their relationship intact and together. In fact, I helped them many times in the past. If they don't have one, and they want to be in a new relationship, I expect to meet that new person that comes in, because that's what it is. I'm not considering them my girlfriend. I'm considering them people in my life that I care very much about. I mean, there's really no term for it besides these are my girls. Now, if they do have a boyfriend or a husband or something, I 100% expect them not to have interaction with any other man outside of that man in their life. And I insist on that 100%. I don't like my girls talking to guys. I don't like them having guy friends. I don't like them having any guys around. I'm a very high-level pickup and seduction artist, and I understand the man's mind, and anybody who wants to deny it would be a liar or ignorant. So, no, they're not allowed to talk to any man, absolutely not. Not in a way of like, it sounds really bad. They're not allowed. Listen, they absolutely can, and then they will not have me in their life. That's all there is to it. I have a choice. I'm a free individual, and I can choose to spend time with somebody or not, given my survival value or not, my intelligence, communication, and the power that I have. If I choose to exchange that with a human being, with a woman, then the first thing she needs to exchange with me is her loyalty to me and no other man. If she can do that, we can negotiate and come to terms. If she can't do that, and at any point she wants to neg that contract or get rid of that contract, she can, because she's a free individual too, and I will never use force on a man or woman, ever, unless I have to defend myself physically. I don't believe in initiating force on another human being. So the only thing is, if they like to do that, they're welcome to. I've had famous rappers, famous musicians, and artists, entertainers, try to get with my women, athletes, because they are the hottest that we have in the Bay Area. And I've told them, go ahead, but you and I are done. And 100%, they picked me so far, and I hope they keep doing it, and that's my job, to keep my value up. So I won't stand for it, but there's no way I would force anybody. It's very clear. We're negotiating. You know what I mean? My value for your value.
Right.
And as long as we bring it to the table, we're good.
Yeah, I think that's a good point to make, is that you can put your foot down and say, I'm not going to stand for it, but it doesn't mean you're going to get violent or, get any kind of retribution, or it just means that I'm not staying in this situation if you're going to do that. I'm going to walk away versus you getting violent.
It's a social
I think that's a big. Yeah, exactly. I think that's a big misunderstanding of men. The way we do things, men putting their foot down and saying, I'm not going to stand for it. It's not going to turn violent, but it's a social contract.
It's a contract. It's a negotiation between you and another individual. I treat people as free beings because I know I am in my own decisions. Everybody has a freedom of choice around me. And as long as we both appreciate each other's value, then we got to say these are the terms of the deal. So you just asked me about one of the terms of my deal. Do I allow my women to talk to other men? I say no. Now, have there been women in my past who have been like, well, you know what, I want to talk to guys, and I say, okay, well, then get on with your life, and we've parted our ways, because I would then not willingly want to exchange my value with them. I would feel bad. I would feel like my attention would be on them in a manner I don't want, and I have enough options to say, okay, you go ahead, and someone will take your place, and I'll gladly give my attention to somebody else and bring another woman into my life, So you're right. If we're going to put our foot down, these terms, they've been misunderstood because a bunch of jackasses have have lived before us and didn't know how to define them. But, for example, alpha, everybody has a wrong definition of alpha. But when I say I didn't say I put my foot down, but if I said I'm going to put my foot down, all it means is I stand firm on my terms of the contract, and I will not compromise it because we've already negotiated, and that's what started this relationship, and I'm not going to make it worse. So if you want to come to the table with another guy or something, you're welcome to negotiate with me. I'm open to it. Let me give you an example. A girl comes to me and says, I would like to date Donald Trump, and he wants to give you $500 million. I will absolutely say, go ahead. Please marry him if you can. Okay, give me my $500 million. So in that case, the value offered is worth me losing the girl. But if someone comes and says, oh, that guy is very cute, or he's a football player, okay, well, that's great. I was living a great life without him. Oh, now I'm going to give him you. Go ahead then. But I'm not going to keep giving you whatever. Go with the football player. It's happened here many times. The San Francisco 49ers, they've tried to, talk to my girls, game my girls. They're like the local sports heroes. They played today and they beat Dallas. So those are the guys I have to deal with. The San Francisco 49ers, San Francisco Giants, those are the baseball team. The San Jose Sharks, the hockey team. Those are the only men qualified to talk to my women around here. And so far they failed. They might win in the future, but who cares? You know what I mean? It's part of the game. It is what it is. Oh, my God. I'm trying to cut that sentence out. I keep saying it. Okay, go ahead.
All right.
I don't want to say it is what it is.
What's wrong with that sentence?
It really doesn't do anything for proper communication. If I say it is what it is it necessary for me to say that? Think about it. I just said nothing.
It is what it is.
Think about what I just said. I said nothing. It is what it is? Well, of course it is. So it's unnecessary. So I study communication as the highest art form that I have, and that's a sentence that's just been plaguing me for a week, and I don't have a replacement sentence for it. But the reason I know it's not right is that it's a bunch of words that describe nothing. Well, it is what it is. No shit, brother. Of course it is what it is. You don't have to say that.
Gotcha. All right, guys. Anyone else have a question for Arash? I know we went through a lot of stuff. Go ahead and push star 2. If anything came up, you got a comment?
Come on, Casanova Crew. You guys are it. You guys are the men.
There's more than just Casanova Crew. There's Casanova Crew. There's people from my list. There's people from Facebook.
That's very exciting. I'm talking to actual social dynamics, people who appreciate the value of learning about men and women and attraction. You guys are some of the most valued people of planet Earth, I believe. I wish everybody knew how to do that. Then we would walk through the mall and have a better experience because people would know how to interact with each other. People are morons when it comes to this.
All right,
I don't want to know
Andrew
who you are.
Kwan. Andrew, you're on.
Yeah, can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. Wow. Hi, Arash.
Hey, brother, how you doing?
Hey, I'm actually calling from South Korea right now.
Woo! That's amazing.
Yeah, I know. I didn't know I'd get through, but yeah, I got a question. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got a question. These past 2 months, I've been bouncing girls to my apartment, but I realized, like, right when they get to my apartment, they're cool with coming in and then chilling for a little bit, but I can never, like, seal the deal and, have sex with them. I think the problem is, I'm pinpointing my problem is, like, it's awkward for me to sexualize, and then when I do, I'm like, okay, I gotta make out now, so I lunge for it, and they kind of back away, and it's been frustrating. Like, what's your advice on coming from, like, a shy guy, I'm an Asian guy too. How do you, like, go from being, just timid and going into, like, a smooth escalation and sexualizing?
I think that's a great question, and I really like the way you're wording it, honestly. It tells me you're very intelligent, and you take care of observing things, Am I correct in the way you live your life? You're very observant, and you're very strategic. Is this true?
Yeah. I've actually been doing this for a while, and I've been getting coaching out here as well. So I guess I can just I know where I'm at in this game, and that's been a big problem for me.
Okay, here's my advice, brother. The first thing to do is if you keep telling yourself that you're a shy guy then you continuously make that real. Now, I'm not the kind of coach that says lie to yourself. Don't ever lie to yourself, ever. So what we need to do is take a look at whether you're shy or not, because you may be shy in certain situations, but not others. You don't sound shy to me right now talking to me. Even you might be, you're doing well.
Uh-huh.
So are you shy meeting her? Are you shy taking her out? Or are you only shy when it comes down to getting sexual with her at the end?
I can say I can talk to her pretty easily, but yeah, I'm hesitant to pull the trigger or to go to sexualize from being platonic or just being friendly to, being sexual. There's a hesitancy.
Got it. Good. So let's put it like this. Let's put it in a different frame here, which is more accurate, which is you're very good at doing what you do, and then you get to the point, and then you become shy about sexualizing. Would this be accurate?
Yeah.
Great. So how do we handle in that last moment or the last moment being shy? Well, I have a mental exercise you can do that's very advanced. Let's take that moment right now. Let's take that moment right now when you're about to sexualize with her. Can you just imagine that and be there for a minute?
Oh, yeah, I can.
Okay, great. If you take that moment for a second and then tell yourself, do this mental exercise, that you're not at the final moment. You're not at the final moment with her to sexualize. Extend your timeline into the rest of your life. You're going to know her for the rest of your life for a minute. Just think you're hanging out with her. You want to get sexual, and then think you're going to know this girl for the rest of your life, man. Because why? You're a great guy. She likes you. She's hanging out with you. You know each other. You're friendly with each other. You said you have no problem having a great platonic relationship. So you have to be able to extend the timeline to the rest of your life. Now imagine knowing her for the rest of your life. Can you do that?
Yeah, I think so.
Try it. Try it right now in your mind, and let me show you what happens.
Okay.
Just imagine whatever girl you had a problem with and extend the timeline and say, man, I'm going to know this girl for like 20 years, man, 30 years. We're going to hang out all the time. Can you do that?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Go
ahead. What happened?
Oh, no. I was going to ask you if you want me to just say what's on my mind or just do it by myself, like thinking.
You could do it. Tell me what's on your mind. So what happened?
Okay. I'm just imagining. Okay, like now when I think of it that way, like the pressure's sort of gone.
Thank you. That's what we're going to take the pressure off, because it's that pressure that makes you hesitant, and it's that pressure that makes you suddenly go into this mode of win or lose and fail. But when you extend your timeline into the future, which is actually proper, because if you truly want to seduce a woman, she has to be able to see herself in your life in the future. You get what I'm saying? So we're not making up something. We're stating the facts of the condition, which is, if I'm going to have sex with you, you're going to be in my life for a very, very long time, hopefully to the end of my life. That's how I think if I'm going to have sex with a woman. I want her in the rest of my life. So the pressure starts to lessen suddenly. And when you're less under pressure, you're not as nervous about it. When you're not as nervous, you act with ease. When you're acting with ease, things are a lot better. So now, let's say you're in that situation. You remember what Arash said, and you go, okay, yeah, I feel a little bit at ease. Now comes the next level. You got to know that you're going to, in the next 20 years, sleep with her. And it's going to happen when you and her are comfortable. If you're not comfortable, get this, very important, it's missed by a lot of guys. If you're not comfortable, then you're not in a position to sexualize with her yet. Because if you keep hanging out with her, and you keep escalating, you kiss her on the cheek, you guys cuddle, you hang out, suddenly sexualizing will become a lot easier. In that moment, when you're ready, she's either ready or not. If she is ready too, you will have sex. If you're ready, she's not ready, you're not to have sex. If she's ready and you're not ready, you can do it, but you'll go through this awkwardness, and she feels it. Now, no woman wants to have sex with a guy who's awkward during sex because it triggers a bunch of weirdness in her. But when you know that she's the rest of your life and that you're in no rush, and then she might suddenly start to come on to you. She might feel like, wow, this guy's like different, like we're hanging out, we're having a good time, he's kinoing, but how come he's not trying to have sex with me? So she'll start to escalate. When she escalates, you will start to have more confidence. Okay? I will not have sex with a woman unless she asks me to have sex with her and begs me to have sex with her. Straight up. That's just the way things are. And we're talking very beautiful women. I will not do it any other way. I just won't. But I don't have in my mind, let's fuck. I have in my mind, let's live for the rest of our lives. Let's do what we got to do. Let's take on the world. Let's show who we are. Let me make sure that you're actually loyal. And all this other shit goes on. We have all the time in the fucking world. So naturally, if the value is high, if the moment's right, they're going to come on to you. When they come on to you, your confidence will go up. And I promise you, you'll remember this moment. And you'll be like, damn, this guy's good. Yeah, I know. So try it, and you'll see. Already we can say immediately the result is you have less pressure. Now it's a matter of applying it when you're in with her and recognizing this basic truth that's missed. It's not that she just has to be comfortable. You're also there too. When you're comfortable, it's time to have sex. When you're not, something is still not right. So keep going, dude, and you'll get it. Guaranteed. There's no rush about it. Not if you're living a certain life and going out meeting women, there is no rush. Okay? There just isn't. Anytime I've ever rushed it, I've made a mistake. Every single time there's been a mistake there. Every time. So I don't need to rush it with nobody. You got what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think you hit the nail on the head. Like the past 4 times I brought girls back. It's been always on my mind. I'm like, damn, how come I'm not getting it? And it's just been getting progressively worse. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna try that. Just slow it down.
Yeah. You know why I nailed
mental.
the head? You know why I nailed the head?
Yeah. Why?
Do you want to know why I nailed the head?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. Sorry.
Would you like to know why I hit the nail right on the head?
Because you just have a lot of experience in it. You know where I'm from.
The world, and that's who you're talking to right now. Through a phone call, because I handled your problem through a phone call and one question that has been bugging you for the last 4 months while your coach is over there in front of you live giving you all kinds of weird advice. And that's why. And thank you for asking, and I think everybody see why I'm the best.
Well, thanks, man. This is great. I get a lot of value from your videos too, man.
Hell yeah. Thank you for watching, man. If you have me on Facebook, send me a comment. I want to know everybody who studies with me. I want to know every single individual. So if you remind me you were this person, then we can chat on Facebook.
All right, cool. Thanks, man.
Okay, brother.
Let me ask you something, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of guys just want, they need some practical stuff, like what to do. Let me ask you, in the situation where you're bringing these girls home, do they know what they're coming home for, to your house?
I'm thinking that they should, once or twice. It's sort of like booty calls, Yeah, I'm thinking our booty calls. They're like, what are you doing now? It's 1 a.m. What are you doing right now? Nothing. You want to get a drink? I'm like, okay, it's done deal. And then we go get a drink, and then I'm like, all right, let's go back to let's get some wine or something. And there's a little bit of hesitancy, and they're like, okay, but I have to go home soon. I'm like, all right, whatever. I just bring them up to my place, and then maybe I just jump the gun too fast in the sex because I watch movies. I don't know. I'm like, let's get aggressive. But
well, one thing I think you had to be cognizant of is if she knows that you find her sexually attractive. I pepper in a lot of stuff about maybe she's got nice legs, or maybe she's turning you on a bit, or as long as it's not a friend thing. And when you get her home, I take things baby step it. We'll drink, we'll sit down and watch the movie. I'll put a blanket over myself and her. I'll pull her close, put my arm around her, and all this is over a period of time that it slowly moves towards us being intimate. I think your problem is you are jumping the gun. So Arash was saying, slow it down.
Right. Can I make an assumption as that when you're out at a venue drinking at a bar or whatever, and then you start sexualized, then you come back to your place, are you sort of starting from scratch, or are you taking a couple of steps and you have to ease yourself in again? I
wouldn't say you're starting from scratch. It's all an adventure from the bar to your house. It's all one thing. It's just like going from watching a movie to her on top of you. It's all interwoven. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But
I see.
One thing you have to be aware of is that when she gets in your house, she might be kind of reticent or not fully,
right. That's what's
she might be worried about what's going to happen. So I'm not saying you're starting at square one, but you need to be aware of that's kind of how she's feeling.
Yeah, and just sort of ease the pressure off me and then start, more slower.
Well, one thing guys do, and this is what I've heard a lot of guys do, is when you bring her home, let her sit in your place and leave her alone there for like 5 minutes. Go do something in your room. That way she knows that you're not a threat. You're not going to jump on her.
Okay. That tip makes sense as well. I always sit up there,
any comment on that,
on
Arash?
the couch.
No, I have no more comment. I answered him.
Okay, cool.
All right, yeah, great.
You got your question. You got everything, Andrew?
Yeah, for that. Not everything, but for that question, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
No problem.
I have a lot of stuff
Let me
to go
see
through, but
we got about another 10 minutes. Let me see if there's another question. If not, we'll come back to you, okay?
Okay, great. Do I just you can just cut me out of the thing, or do I have to press something?
Yeah, I'm going to mute you. Don't hang up.
Okay.
I'm just going to mute you, okay? All right, guys. So if you heard anything that you want to expand on, if you got another question that popped into your mind, push *2. We only got maybe about another 10 minutes left. This is a rare chance, like I said, to get the questions answered. So
10 minutes. I gotta go.
All right, I'm just going to go back to Andrew, then we're going to call it quits. All right, Andrew, we've got one more question, and then we're going to call it a night. Anything else?
Well, I'm just starting. I took like a month off from gaming because I went to the States actually and came back and was trying to find a job and all that stuff. What's the best way to sort of get back into? I got to get back into sergeant mode. But I am a social guy. I have a lot of other friends that do go out and are naturals, but they go out drinking and they go drinking heavily. And would your suggestion be like to cut them out and then not cut them out, but like focus more on like the layer guys, because there's a layer out here in Korea too, and just kind of keep going out because I really want to improve in the next year like rapidly, because I'm like 30 now, so I feel like it's like now or never,
Yeah. So what is the actual question?
So sorry, my question is, should I devote the next year into pickup and just sort of like, cut out my social life? Because I'm always like, okay, next week I'll hang out with my friends, my actual friends, and nothing ever gets done.
Well, you're asking me this question, correct?
Yeah. Like, how did you just focus on game and just?
It's not a separation.
Uh-huh.
It's not a separation. My friends would be people that would understand that how important it is to have women in my life, and otherwise they're not my friends, and I don't need them as friends. Like I said, and I don't know if you heard my last question answered, my life, my work, my purpose and my work are the same exact thing. I will not interact with a human being at all who does not find my work valuable to them. So part of my work is to have beautiful women around me all the time. And any man, if he's a healthy man, and if he's not a homosexual, I'm not saying that's not healthy, I'm just saying either he's a straight healthy man, or if he's a homosexual, then he doesn't apply to this. Otherwise, he values beautiful women around him all the time. And he should not separate his life from women. There's no separation. I don't care what anybody. So the act of separating is also what people do. The way I game, anybody being set knows. The way I game is exactly the way I talk when I'm out we're talking to guys and to customers, and there is no difference. I don't have to go game mode. Okay, now I'm going to talk to her. I'm talking to her the way I talk right now. Hey, hold on. My little dog's here now. Okay, what do you... So anyways, my suggestion would be what my life is as an example. My suggestion is make sure you understand the value and the importance of beautiful women in your life. And if you do understand it, don't devaluate it. Don't make less of your own goals. Don't make less of who you are and what you want in life. And then seek people, or they will seek you also, people who find similar common goals and purposes. And then you guys can have a great time together. Otherwise, you're fragmenting your life in a way that shouldn't be. It's like you're going, in my opinion, it's like you're Jewish and you're also part of the Nazi group because they have different goals. So, if you're a Nazi, you're a damn Nazi. You're Jewish. You're Jewish. Don't mix because you think that everyone should have a fair chance. No, it's your life. You are an adult. Like you said, you're 30. You'll be 31. I'm 37 right now. Life will keep passing you by. Make sure by the time you're 31, or even by tomorrow morning, you've decided that you know what's important to you, and there's no apology about it, and you're going to go get what you want in life. I do have to put this little thing in just for any other person listening. I can tell you're intelligent. But that has to include, never initiating force on another human being, and never, ever, ever hurting, violating, or attacking a female because you think that that's part of your goal. So having said that, I know it sounds ridiculous. I have to say it, but I have to say it because it's the right thing to do. Outside of that, it's your life, brother. Don't separate it, man. It's your life. Those are women. We drive nice cars, so women like us. We wear nice shoes, so women notice it. We work out, so women like the way we look. I wear a cologne, so a woman says, "Wow, you smell great." All of these things are done because I value women so highly. See, you and I are in a very rare breed of human beings on planet Earth. We actually are vocal about this. I love women so much that I dedicate my entire life to understanding them, fulfilling them, and making sure they fulfill me. That, to me, is a pickup artist and a seduction artist when it's done right. There's no apology. I don't need to make friends who don't value women as high as I do. I don't need to have any social circles that think, well, I just don't want to, okay, if you want to be alone, you're not a social person. Get out of here. I need to be around social people. Arash, don't you ever want to be alone for an hour, maybe 10 minutes, maybe 5. But overall, I'm a social human being. So I hang around social circles that I like. So that is the way I would go about it with this little statement in it. Remember, it's your life, and it has to fulfill you at the end. So if what I'm saying is not fulfilling, then don't worry about it. If what I'm saying, like, man, I can breathe, I know this guy's got the truth I'm looking for, then do it, man. You're not a 5-year-old anymore. You don't need permission. You don't need permission from anybody to go around women. And don't say, oh, now I'm going to game this week. You're going to game every week, all the time. You might have a different definition of games than I do. I don't go to the club to meet women. I meet women where I eat. I meet women where I walk. I meet women where I drive. I meet women in my workplace. I meet women where I am because I never hit on her. The first rule of seductive instinct pickup is you never hit on her. And people are, what do you mean? Well, don't worry about it. Look at my life. It's not just one date. You got to learn the whole. So I don't hit on the women, so I don't violate her anywhere I go. But I meet her everywhere I go. Everywhere I go, I meet women. If they're attractive, if they're not, they don't register on my radar. That's the end of that.
Great. Yeah, that just totally cleared it up for me. Thanks, man.
Great.
Great.
You're welcome. Question.
All right, guys. So
Okay.
We're going to wrap it up. Arash, why don't you tell everybody kind of what you're going to teach this weekend at the Ultimate Pickup Artist Convention?
I'm going to be speaking as a guest speaker in this Pickup Artist Convention. And I'm going to start off the event. I'll be the first speaker. Here's what I want everyone to know. If you miss my speech in the beginning, you will have one level of experience for the rest of the weekend. If you listen to my speech in the beginning, I promise you from the bottom of my heart, you're going to have a totally different level of experience for the rest of the weekend. Because I'm going to be going over something that's going to shift your frame of mind, that's what that means, and give you the proper context to view the rest of the event from. I promise you, the people that hear me talk from the beginning, don't miss the first minute. It's not like the first minute's not important. You got to know the whole thing. The people who hear me speak versus the ones that don't will have a completely different experience of this event. And the ones who do hear me speak will have a proper understanding of the event. And the ones who don't will be in the same soup they are for the last year before. Listen to a bunch of pickup artist coaches talk, get inspired, go out, maybe improve, maybe not. You hear me talk, and I'm going to frame for you the whole convention and what eyes you need to be able to look through to be able to get the most results from it. That's what I'm going to talk about. I have certain information, datums that I work with that are valuable because these are the things that are hidden to the eye. Anybody who knows me, if you're listening, like the last gentleman who said he follows me on my videos and the one before, knows that I have a certain level of information that I work very hard for to acquire. I'm going to share a few things that are preventing the pickup artist, the seduction artist, and the social scientist, and they're not all the same thing. And that's one of the things I'll define for you guys. but they're all going to be in that room. I'm going to share certain information that's preventing them from evolving and getting better, and it's vital for them. I highly recommend be there in the beginning. I'll be the first speaker, and I'm very excited. I'm also honored to do it, and I'm just looking forward to it, man. Like I'm going to be there ready to go. So that's what they can expect.
All right, sounds good. I'm looking forward to it. All right, guys, so you heard it.
Great.
If you would like to hear Arash's speech, go ahead and come on down to the Ultimate Pickup Artist Convention in LA this weekend. If you'd like to get a 10% discount, you can go to upuac.com/discount to get a 10% off. All right, Arash, I want to thank you again for dialing in and answering questions. These calls have been great. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having me, brother. I appreciate the opportunity.
No problem. And I will talk to you soon. All right, guys.
Okay, I'll
take
see you
care
later.
and good night.
Peace.